Yo, 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 what is happening? Welcome to another Dumb Show, episode number 266. So good to have you guys with me. It feels so good. It feels so right. Having you guys streaming on my tube at night. I hope you guys had a great week. It's been just about a week, literally a week since the last time we were live. So good to have you guys here with me. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up on tonight's show. If you've not already hit the like, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like the show. Take a second to get your comments in. If you're not watching live, I'll read your comments back on the next episode. And don't forget, you can always download the show as an audio-only podcast through YouTube Music, a fantastic app. And I highly recommend that you do that, especially if you're driving or on a job site and can't watch and just want to listen. You can do that through YouTube Music. Follow the show, X, Instagram, TikTok, at Another Dumb Show. And of course, shout out to the League of Dummies. That is a live chat here on Another Dumb Show. We appreciate all of you. So good to have you guys here with us. And you too can join the live chat once you subscribe to the show. About 10 minutes later, you'll have access to our live chat and you'll be able to hang out. Just like Jerry, who was first, he's a stalwart member of the League of Dummies. And he was first in there today. And I see a new face in there. Drake Alvarez says, hey, Dumb, what's up, Drake? New name, new face. What's going on? Welcome. Good to see you in the chat with us. And don't forget, you can always support the show with your cashola by going to the Another Dumb Show homepage, clicking the join button, pick a tier level to help support the show. $2 a month, $3 a month, or $10 a month, whatever suits your fancy. Just a reminder, too, about the chat. The phones are down, so if you want to get in and get your comments in about whatever we're talking about tonight, or if you have a question for me or any of that good stuff, do it in the chat and just tag me at Another Dumb Show, and I will read your comments. And it looks, oh, shit, hell yeah, my main man is here with us already. Mikey, what's up, brother? How are you?
I'm good. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. It's good to hear you, see your face, hear your voice.
Absolutely. Still alive and kicking. Haven't hit the streets yet.
That's good to know. We were off on Monday for a couple reasons. You were sick, and I had a corporate event on Tuesday, so it was just easier to take the day off for me to get prepared.
I tried to go to work in the morning, and I had such a bad sinus headache, I ended up having to drop a trainee off with somebody else, and then drive all the way back to my house and sleep for the day.
Oh, so you actually went into work?
I actually tried to work.
Okay, it wasn't because last week you had said that you were getting close to the Mikey needs a couple days off, so I just bail on a Monday kind of vibe. I didn't know if you hit that.
No, I like Thursday, Friday last week. I started to catch the sniffles pretty bad, and then it just
trailed over to the weekend. Right on.
Yeah, Saturday I worked 10 hours, and I was miserable working the whole 10 hours. Sunday, I didn't watch any football.
Well,
Nothing.
Why?
I slept.
Just from work, because you work so hard on. You know what? I kind of feel you a little bit.
Sick. Dude, I slept from Sunday afternoon at noon until like Sunday night at 11, and then I went to sleep until Monday morning. I tried to work for 3 hours, and then I went back to sleep, and I slept through Monday Night Football. So this last week of football didn't even happen. I couldn't even tell you anything.
You'd already seen all the football you needed to on Thursday night because that's when the Vikings played, right?
Done
they were done.
I was done with football for 10 days.
Done for the week.
2 losses in 5 days. I was done.
Well, good news for you. I saw a thing. I think we'll talk a little bit more football here because we'll do a fantasy football update later. But I saw Jared Goff, the quarterback for the Lions, didn't practice today, so that's good news. I don't know if he's injured or what, but I don't know.
We'll see him again in the playoffs. Don't worry. We made a trade for a left tackle yesterday. Made me happy.
Yeah, I saw that. There were a couple big trades yesterday. Deontay Johnson went to the Ravens, which was a pretty big deal. And then you guys got that left tackle from the Jaguars, which is crazy to get a starting left tackle in the middle of the season. It's just
for not even a 2025 draft pick. It's a 2026 conditional 7th round pick.
Right on. So, interesting weekend for the Vikings and interesting weekend for the Browns, too. So, we'll cover all that when we hit the Another Dumb Fantasy Football League update here. Jerry and I are going to be going at it here, it looks like. So, I apologize if can you hear that squeaking?
Yeah, your dryer's running.
My washer is going crazy right now. I don't know what is happening right now. I think there's a blanket in there and it's thrown off the weight. And so it's squeaking like crazy right now.
It's definitely squeaking like crazy.
All right, hold on. Let me go shut that off. Hold on. Give me a sec. Hold the fort for a sec, Mikey. Check in there.
Yeah,
Talk to Mike. Okay.
I'll check. Yeah, let's find out what Michael K's got to say. I haven't opened up the YouTube or nothing yet. There was like no warning or nothing today. I wasn't very prepared. Am I ever really prepared though, guys? Like, let's be real here. Wow, that is a really loud,
Ow.
squeaky washer. I'd lose it. I'd lose it if that was my washer. I'd absolutely lose my cool.
Man, that was loud. Probably should have turned the mic off, huh?
No, it was cool. It added effect.
What a dipshit.
And now we know. Now we know what you got to live with.
My poor neighbor. Anyway, yeah, no, I need to get a new washer. I just got. Did I tell you guys that I got a new dryer for free on the Facebook Marketplace? Something went wrong with my old dryer, and I just hopped on the Facebook Marketplace, see if I could find a $50, $75 dryer or something like that, just to get a stopgap in there after mine died.
Yep. And found a free one.
Free one. It was literally the first one that popped up, and it's like, it's a good dryer. I mean, it's a little bit older. It's not one of the fancy ones with the top loading or anything like that. It's an old school dryer, but this thing works better than my old dryer ever did. This thing is fantastic.
Yep. Pilot X in here, plug in his generator. He's got a quiet Cummins RS20 AC. Very nice.
Okay, cool. Is that one of the ones you work on?
Yeah, they're a pain in the ass. An absolute pain in the dickhole to work on.
Bro, you want to talk about pain in the asses. There's
27 screws that need to come off just to get inside of the thing. 27.
That's very time consuming. That is annoying because it's just time consuming. Is it stuff you can use your drill to do it with?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you're not. Okay, well, that's good. Mikey, I had what I would say is I can without a doubt say was the hardest event I've ever had in all my years of DJing on Saturday.
Yeah, you briefly touched upon it via text. I was going to ask more about it, but I figured we'd talk about it here.
Dude. So Friday nights, I had two events. I had a Friday night event and a Saturday night event. And actually I had one last night too. But anyway, Friday night's event was at a barn, standard barn, nothing too crazy, a little bit of an extensive setup as far as running a lot of wires, so just a lot of up and down and taping wires and stuff like that. So a lot of crouching, which is normal. It's not that big of a deal. And the event went great. It was an awesome wedding. It was a lot of fun. Congratulations, Lexi and Braden. They were awesome to work with, and there was a great wedding. They had photo booth and all that good stuff. Let me see. I think I got a photo booth picture here. Let me pull this bad boy up. Let's see, we got Lexi and Braden here, right here, actually. I actually had a really cool thing happen with the photo booth. We actually were able to fit, here are the bride and groom. This is Lexi and Braden at our photo booth right there. And then...
It looks like Charlie Kirk.
He looks like who?
A young Charlie Kirk.
Who's Charlie Kirk?
The conservative entrepreneur that runs around college campuses across the United States destroying liberals.
Oh, he does look a little bit like him. Here's Charlie Kirk. Yeah, I could see that. He does look a little bit like him.
Yep.
Oh,
uber conservative.
I should probably show it to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah,
young Charlie Kirk for sure.
They do look similar. Anyway. But this was pretty cool with the booth. We've never been able to do this. I don't think we've ever had, we do big groups all the time, but I don't think we've had this many people in the booth at one time. It was a lot of fun. Big group, a lot of fun, a lot of people in the group. I was pretty psyched to see that we were able to fit that many people in there because it was.
How I know how old I am. These all look like children.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 or 17 people in there. Yeah, and they were all very young. It was a college-aged group. They were probably, I don't know, just out of college, I would say, because I believe the bride is works in a NICU now. So,
nice.
Yeah, noble job for her. But so anyway, back to Saturday. So Friday. So this is Saturday right here. So I forgot I didn't. So we did forget Friday. Friday went awesome. Got home, did my thing, slept, woke up, was ready to go for Saturday's event. Now what you're looking at right here is the basement of a place called Stan Hewitt. Stan Hewitt. I don't know who Stan Hewitt was, but he had a lot of money, Mikey. and he has this giant manor, and I'll show you what the manor looks like here in a little bit. But this is when I got everything organized with the bride and groom and everything. We talked about where the venue was. You know, I've worked at this venue many times, but just not in this particular part of this venue. So you can work in like or four, this wing of this giant manor. And it's in the basement. And this place is a museum. So, like an idiot, I just assumed that this place had an elevator to get down to the basement.
Yeah, why not?
It's a museum.
How manor.
Yeah, well, it's a museum at this point too. Like, I can understand it's so old that they didn't have elevators in it at any point in time. I mean, they built it obviously, but since they've converted it into a museum where people come and take tours of it and things like that, I was under the impression that there would be an elevator.
Yeah.
Brittany, I grabbed Brittany to help me this weekend because I knew I would need an extra set of hands because there were 3 separate locations for the ceremony, cocktail hour, and the reception. Ooh. So, yeah, it was a lot of work. It was a huge work, and I'll even show you how it got crazier. But so anyway, as you can see, I'm showing you a picture of some steps. That's because, Mikey, there was no elevator. Oh. So Brittany and I had to carry all the equipment down these stairs, and you're only seeing half of the stairs down here at the bottom. This is just the bottom half of the steps. Right. So probably about 30 steps, I'd say. And then it gets even worse. Once you get down those steps, you go across the room. You'll notice if you follow my little mouse cursor here, you'll notice this little alcove here, this tiny little sliver in the wall. Well, those are more steps that you have to go up to get into this little area right here, which is like this little crow's nest where the DJ sets up. So, down an entire flight of steps, cross a long big room, then up these weird steps that are like too tall. Like, you know, a normal step, it's like it's a standard size. These are like extra tall steps. Two normal steps for each step. It was huge. And the steps were. But the problem, the one thing that wasn't huge is this alcove. This alcove right here, my subwoofers for my speakers literally scraped up thank God I had covers on them because they scraped their way up the walls just to fit through that little alcove for me to be able to set up there. So the way I do it when we get to these events is I set up the reception area first, and then I run and go get the ceremony area all set up, which I have. I'll show you guys a picture of the ceremony I got actually a little video of it, and I'm not going to spend all night talking about this, but I just have to talk about how hard this was. Like, it
looks like a pain in the ass already.
I think it's because I'm so proud of myself that we accomplished such a ridiculously hard event.
And injury-free.
I guess you're right. No major injuries. But
nothing to add to the list, but just some nicks and scrapes.
Lots of nicks and scrapes. So here, this is the so this is behind the house. So this will show you, it starts off on my mixer here. I'm just going to mute it because it's just background noise. And then it pans to the whole house.
Oh, shit. Look at that.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it really is an incredible place. So I'm going to stop it right here because this will tell you how far we had to go from one area to the next. Now, you can't see my mouse cursor on this screen, but you can see there's like a little steps kind of. If I zoom in, you can kind of see, whoops.
Like the brick steps over there by the
those brick right there, those brick steps. So you got to go all the way up those and then through this little pathway down more steps to get back to this long ass hallway to take you back to where the actual reception is. So, dude, I've never had such an expansive layout for any event in my life, and it was so much work. My quads, dude. I've never, the next day, my legs were so heavy, I could barely get out of bed. I mean, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I'd put myself through. And poor B1, God love her. Oh, and I left out too, so she had to leave early because she had a
breakdown was all on you.
Breakdown was all on me. And once I said, okay, no big deal. It's just going to be a lot of work. It'll take me a while. I'll get it all out of here. But once she left, I realized it's impossible for me to get the sub back down the steps without another person's help because of the angle of the steps. And I'm not strong enough to curl this thing with one. It's like 60 some pounds or something. It's really heavy. Yeah. So there was no way for me to hold this thing. It's a 2-person walk to get it's impossible unless you are a bodybuilder and can literally curl this big, weird, awkward thing and hold it with one. You'd have to put your arm behind your back and hold it with one hand and walk down the steps. That's how narrow it was. And so I kind of was like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. So I sat down at dinner with the photographers that were there. And it's a girl I know. Her name is Brittany. I've worked with her many, many times. We refer each other all the time. And we're eating, and she goes, "Hey, did the girl who came with you leave?" And I was like, "Yeah, she had a Halloween party to go to, so it was no big deal." And she goes, "How are you going to get all this stuff out of here?" And I said, "Well, it's just going to be a lot of work, you know what I mean?" And as I'm literally, she's asking that question, I'm brainstorming how the fuck I'm going to get this subwoofer down the steps. And so she goes, "Well, here's the deal. We're here all night. So when we're done packing up our stuff, we'll come and help you unload your stuff up." And I was like, "No, I can't let you do that. First off, I don't need it. I would have been able to do it just fine on my own. I would have figured out a way to do the sub. If I had to pick it up over my fucking head and balance it all the way down the steps, that's what I probably was going to end up having to do." So I finally relented at the end of the night because they were adamant about helping out. So I swallowed my pride and I let these 2 ladies help me. But I mean, they were perfectly capable adult women. So it wasn't like I was, taking advantage of these, sickly ladies or anything like that. But it did take a lot to swallow my pride and accept help because it's not really my thing. Unless I'm asking for it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm happy to ask for help if I really need it, like asking B1 for it. But these strangers helping me was a little bit, it was a hard pill to swallow. But
I did have a hard time with that too.
Yeah, but a great weekend. The event went flawlessly, though. That was the best thing about it. It was
nice.
After,
of course, as always.
Yeah, it was I'm really pumped about how well it went. I actually got a little video of it that I posted. This is pretty cool, this thing that happened at the beginning of this. I don't know if I can play the audio. I think I could probably audio. It's pretty short clips. Well, we'll play little bits and then we'll mute it. Yeah, we'll play little clips and then mute it. So this is at Friday night's wedding. It was a big country wedding. They wanted a lot of country music, which is pretty cool because I don't do a lot of weddings that want a lot of country. So I got to play some country that night. And they had one of their must plays was, have you ever heard the song "Fishing in the Dark," Mikey?
No.
All right, well, it's a hardcore country song. And there is a dance that people do to it. And this is what they're doing right here. So there you go. That's the dance that they do during it. Now, I've seen this done at weddings before. It's funny because the dad walked up to me like beaming with pride and all excited. And he was like, "I bet you never seen anything like this before." And I was like, "Yeah, actually I have." And which I kind of felt like a dick afterward because I probably should have just played along. But anyway, so they did this dance and I was thinking to myself, boy, like the lady in the front, that's the stepmom. She's got this beautiful evening gown on and she's sitting on the fucking floor of this barn. They're fucking doing this crazy ass dance. So I thought that was a lot of fun. Some coordinated dances going on this weekend for me. I had, so here's a little bit more. I'll skip this next part because it's just Shout. Who cares? Everybody's seen Shout. So that's the end of Friday night. And then getting into Saturday night, you guys all know this song. So I definitely can't play more than that of that song. Probably already going to get dinged for that. But these two did a coordinated bye, bye, bye dance during this wedding on Saturday night. And you could kind of get an idea of how far up I am just from this view.
Up there, bro.
Yeah, dude. There were a couple times where I was kind of up towards the edge, and this part was great. These people went absolutely bananas when I played this song. I mean, they were going nuts. My favorite part of this video right here is this dude. There's a dude with a beard. I got to kind of like put him in the middle. It's kind of going to look weird on the screen a little bit, but for me to get him in the middle, I got to kind of move it around. Watch this guy at the end when they go B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Just watch his hands. That guy with his right hand up there, the guy with the beard and the tie on. Just watch when they sing this part, when they get to this part. Watch his hands. Oh, it cuts him off right at the edge there. Did you see the big fist pump?
Yeah.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It was so funny, man. I was dying, man. I had a great time at that wedding. I killed it. I got one of the nicest messages from the bride the next day, just saying that she's never been at a wedding where guests have been so engaged in the dance floor, which is like the ultimate fucking compliment any DJ could ever get. So
that's awesome, man. Good for you.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. It was so hard. But it was amazing how well it worked out. So I'm very proud of myself, very proud of B1 for the hard work she put in. Keely worked Friday night doing the photo booth, so she did great. And then I did a corporate event last night for this place. This thing, the weirdest thing. So I basically just played music and did a few announcements. It was a pretty easy gig, other than walking a block and a half carrying a bunch of equipment. That fucking sucked. So after already being tired from the weekend. But there were like 450, 500 people at this event.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there was this crazy ass huge big screen behind me that was like, it was a TV screen that was, I mean, it was like 100 feet by 50 feet. I mean, it was huge. It was absolutely massive. Like the sound system and everything that these people had set up was super crazy. So yeah, I didn't even have to do speakers. This is just one where I plugged in with the computer and my mixer and my controller and just, yeah. So, which is still not light, but anyway, it was a good night. The event went really good. And so if you ever need a corporate DJ, clevelandreception.com. Anyway, so speaking of photographers, Mikey, I have a crazy story about a photographer. Not from a wedding. It's got nothing to do with weddings. This is a story about a woman named Amanda Gallagher. She's a 37-year-old photographer who she liked to, in addition to photography, she also did a lot of skydiving. So she would go to this place called Air Capital Drop Zone, where all of the planes would take off and all of the parachutists or skydivers would come back down and land, and she'd take pictures of all of them loading up and dropping in and all that stuff. Well, over the weekend, she was on the tarmac, and this is per the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office in Kansas. She was taking photos of people getting on and off of planes at the Air Capital Drop Zone when she backed into an active airplane propeller.
Oh. Bye-bye.
So the story goes on. It says she later died at a local hospital after being rushed there in, quote, extremely critical condition. So
yeah, in pieces.
Yeah, the back half of her's cut off.
Oh God! Dude.
I just
how
like
do you not feel that, hear that?
I imagine it's just so loud, and then as you get close enough, it probably sucks you a little bit, right? I mean, isn't that how those work?
I have no idea.
I don't. You know planes, don't you? Know jets. You don't know anything about propeller planes.
I don't know how they work. They just fly. That's cool.
They're just flying. It's cool. But anyway, I thought that was a crazy story. Yeah, so this poor girl just taking pictures, doing the things she loves, and then she backs into a fucking propeller. So I wonder what that would do to somebody. Does it, like, Just
What that
just
last picture is.
just really. Hopefully she wasn't taking a selfie or checking it or
Yeah,
whatever.
man.
That's a graphic picture. Oh man, speaking of, I got another crazy graphic story. Not really. Well, I guess it's sort of graphic for the people who were there. Earlier today at Luna Island, Mikey. Do you know Luna Island off of Niagara Falls? You ever been to Niagara
Never heard
Falls?
of it. I've been to the falls, yeah. Oh,
What is happening right now? Darla, stop. Darla. Hush. Hush. There's nobody here. Settle down.
I was about to say the visitor alert.
I don't know what she's talking about. Anyway, she's going berserk. Anyway, so there's this story that happened today. Oh my God. Mikey, check the chat. Let me just go check the door just to see if there's somebody here.
There we go. Check the chat. Green Bay away from Traverse City. Yeah, Pilot X. Yeah, too many 10mm screws. Adjusting valves on those things are absolutely ridiculous as well. But great product, absolutely. Jeremy, you're not kidding. To figure out how planes work, I just like planes. I got like a touch of the tism, not the awe part, just the tism part. But yeah, it's definitely. I don't know that much about airplanes.
Okay, I'm back.
And Michael K, we'll address that in a little bit.
Okay. Yes. So Michael K said, did Mikey allow that crazy chick over the weekend? It needs to be talked about. Yes, that's on my list of things to talk about, but I didn't want to do all Mikey all night for right off the bat. So because this story just came out over the past couple hours at this place called Luna Island off of Niagara Falls. There was a mom there with her 9-year-old son and her 5-month-old daughter, I believe. They were hanging out. Here's Luna Lake. Here's the little park here, so you guys get an idea of what we're talking about. So everybody's been to Niagara Falls, I'm sure. This is one of the little sections where people can go hang out. Luna Lake Park. This mom, for whatever reason, according to witnesses, her and her two children, climbed over the railing and went down the Niagara Falls. Inexplicably.
Jesus Christ.
They've not been able to recover their bodies yet. And they are saying that it was intentional. Now, when you say intentional to me, that means that she chose to jump with the two kids. And how do you get the 9-year-old to come with you?
9-year-old just blindly follow.
Off the side of off down into that?
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Now, I'm wondering though, you see down in the foreground, looks like there's a small little river or kind of something that leads off the bottom part there. Do you see that? Can you see that at the bottom? It looks
right
like,
there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some water that's moving towards the waterfall. Now, I'm wondering, when I was a kid, I grew up in Chagrin Falls. There's a waterfall, or two waterfalls actually, that run right through the middle of town. And one of the waterfalls, you could walk down a bunch of steps and get to the falls. Now, there were railings there, but we would climb the railings and go, down by the waterfall. Now, I'm wondering if this is something like, this is what they did. When somebody says it's intentional, yes, it could be intentional that she jumped off the left side over there and just went barreling into the, tried to off herself or whatever. Or could it be that they were just, stupid? I almost said the R word there. They're stupid and climbed over the railing here in this front part to maybe just stand on these rocks and maybe take a selfie or something along those lines.
I don't know, man.
I'm just, because it just seems so inexplicable that a mom would just do, like, we've seen over the past few months a rash of very strange ways to off yourselves. I can't remember the one we talked about last week, but we had the lady in the airport who offed herself in the baggage cart thing. or the baggage claim area on the conveyor belt. Were you on when we talked
Oh,
about that story?
nope. Missed that one too.
Oh yeah, there's this lady who jumped on a conveyor belt and basically, I'm trying to figure out the word. You know where you use a rope, basically. She
Yep.
somehow connected herself to the conveyor belt and used the conveyor belt to off herself. It was one of the
Jesus
strangest
Christ.
stories I've ever seen. Well, that's why I'm telling this story, because it just seems a little strange to me that this would happen. And this woman is a domestic violence caseworker. So you would seem seemingly a noble profession. This is the woman. Her name is Chaianti. Chianti? Chianti? I'm not sure. But anyway, this is her. She ended up doing that crazy shit today. So
That's wild. No note, no nothing. Just kind of unloaded and went into the water.
well, that's what I don't understand. It's so many other ways I mean, many people have done this in the past, obviously gone over the falls to off themselves, but it just seems like such a weird thing to do with your two kids. I mean, this is such I know there are
It's a
mothers
very
that do
mom
that.
thing to do.
Well, there's that Susan Smith lady who did that. Remember, she drowned her two kids in a lake back in the day, or two sons. Do you remember
There's a
her?
bunch of moms that have done that shit.
Yeah, I know.
Turn on Netflix.
But those usually have some big, long, weird, like the lady who put her in the car and then drove him in the. I mean, that's a whole big, long, elaborate.
We don't get the backstory of this yet. They just went over. Who knows?
That's true.
More
who
to
knows?
come.
There is more to come. We'll have to keep an eye on it. We'll see. As of earlier today, they had not recovered the bodies yet, according to Syracuse.com. So, but officials say the plunge was, quote, intentional. So,
Easy police work.
crazy story. So yeah, we'll have to keep it monitoring that one. All right, Mikey. I just talked about weddings a little bit ago and my successful weddings.
Yeah.
You, when you were in town, when we were broing down, we talked a lot about you got invited to a wedding a while back by your friend group from high school. You were friends with this
25 years.
Yeah, 25 years you've known these people, but you kind of lost touch with them when you got into partying and whatnot, and they were kind of straight-laced people, maybe drank, but no drugs or anything
Not
like
really.
that.
Just the husbands and boyfriends when I was around, and then the ladies would get in trouble for that shit.
That's right.
So yeah, me out. I didn't want to do it. Mike brought it.
Yeah, I understand that. But that also kind of caused you to fall out of favor with them a little bit. You kind of lost touch with them. You weren't as close with them. Part of the friend group. You weren't getting invited out to hang out anymore. But so you stopped hearing from them for a while. And then out of the blue, you get a wedding invitation from this one of the people in the high school friend group, a woman, and is it two people in the group getting married, or like a girl and some other guy coming in?
Girl in the group from the original crew of 6 or 7 of us, and then the outsider that's getting married.
Okay, some guy coming into okay. So then you get this wedding invitation, and your first reaction was, you guys can go fuck yourselves. You kind of cut me out of your group. There's no fucking way I'm coming to this wedding. Which is understandable. We kind of went back and forth about it. I tried to get you to go, but you were like, no, I'm just going to end up, everybody's going to be drinking and drunk, and that's boring. I can't drink, so I'm not going to be drinking.
Yeah, and I'm 45 minutes away from home. It's like an hour. It's at some fucking castle. They got a block of rooms where it's like $190 for a fucking hotel room. Like that ain't my thing.
And you got to buy a gift and all that stuff. And then you got to hang out and smile with people who you don't really like anymore, or made you, maybe not like, they just made you feel like shit. And you don't want to hang out with them anymore. So
yeah, who knows what table I'm going to be at. And then, on top of that, the icing on top of the cake, you send me a wedding invite, and it's a solo invite, not even a +1.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Yeah,
they didn't want you to bring any of your hood rats with you.
S my D from the back.
So that's a good one. I like that. I've never heard that before. So from there, did you send an RSVP just saying no, or did you not even bother?
No, I sent in no, I'll be out of town.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. So you said you're going to be out of town. And then you were out of town because you came here, right?
Yeah.
You were supposed to be out of town. You were going to spend the weekend here, but you ended up just going back home just because, I don't know, like you're a homebody like I am. You just like,
When I don't have work, dude, I want to be posted up on this couch. I'm
you don't have
serious
to,
homebody.
you don't have to explain it to me, my dude. I feel the same way. I'm totally the same. But so you ended up not being gone that whole weekend. You ended up going back home. And somehow they caught wind of you being back home in Rochester and not here in Cleveland when the wedding was going on.
Yeah.
And that was when, now we kind of left off the last we talked. What was their reaction? What happened after that?
Oh, it was just pretty much a gang up in text messages. I got like text messages from 3 different people within about like a half an hour. How could you not come to her wedding? She's been one of your best friends for 30 plus years. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, you said you were going to be out of town, and I didn't respond to any of them.
Nothing. You just left them on red.
I, to be honest with you, blocked all of them and unfriended all of them on all social medias, and they're gone from my life.
Okay, that was extreme. I was not expecting that. Okay, so
Yeah, I don't feel like defending myself. I don't need to defend myself. I spent my whole life defending myself around these people.
right, that's true. It sucks when you can't feel like I same thing kind of happened to me with my high school friend group. I was, we were real tight. We had a good group of guys, a lot of the football players, and like I kind of hung out with everybody. But after high school, when I started partying real hard, everybody that I hung out with stopped talking to me.
This was a group of fat chicks I used to hang out with, bro.
Just cause,
6
or
of them.
like you're what,
It was
what
just I just became friends with them. They were, I don't even, from elementary school. I just always used to hang out with broads.
no, there's nothing wrong with that. But I
And then it butted into the high school friendship, and then after high school, all we did was party together and everything like that. And I was good friends with all the boyfriends and the husbands and all that shit. And then, yeah, it just falls apart.
yeah, well, yeah, mine when I started after high school and started partying and doing a lot of blow and was into drugs and everything, we all they literally I like blackballed me. Like I haven't talked to any of those people.
I got them all to do Molly one night
Well,
for
one
like
of
a
my
day glow thing. That was about it.
well, yeah, it's well, one of my guys, one of my best friends, his from high school, his older brother actually was a big partier. And so his younger brother used to get mad at me because we would give him a place to go party. But like he was like a dad and shit. Like he's like a family, wife and kids and all this shit, but he would need a place. So he'd buy like I don't know, several 8 balls and just knock on the door and just be like, "Hey guys, you guys want to party?" We'd be like, Wednesday night party? Yeah, let's do it. So,
everyone had one of those. I had one of those in my life too. Stormin Norman was his name. And then the nights he didn't have anything, he'd come downstairs and pay us the tax. He'd shake us all down pocket by pocket.
Jesus. Well, either way, the partying can definitely affect friendships, and it sounds like it affected mine and yours. And,
It definitely did over a course of the years because I would always tell them like, "Hey, I'm sober, this, that, and the third." They'd invite me to like a barbecue. I'd end up drinking a bunch of beers with them or whatnot. They'd be like, "Mike, you're not supposed to be drinking," and I'd be like, "You're not my parents."
Back the fuck off. All right, so they're out of your life. Fuck them. They're done. Screw them. The hell with them. That's the last
They
time
ain't
we'll
been,
ever.
they ain't been in my life in 5 years anyways. I ain't missing shit.
But peace out officially. Give them the Tyreek Hill.
Two of the husbands already hit me up. Be like, "Yo, we ain't mad at you. Fuck them."
Yeah, that's good. That's fun. So you imagine they'll want to come hang out with you at some point in time. They'll try to at least if they see you out and about.
When they're trying to escape their wife or some shit. And they think I'm still partying. I'm sure.
Exactly.
But no, I ain't gonna be like that no more.
What about all right, so we left off last week.
Whether or not I was gonna play the game or not, like the movie Saw.
Yeah, we here's the screenshot again The girl that Mikey was talking to, you'll see how it starts to escalate. She asks Mikey, what are you up to? He says, eating cheesecake, watching TV. She says, fun. Mikey says, yeah, I guess mostly boring. And then she goes on a tirade. Ha 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 ha, you really make me sad. You're not trying. I mean, this is, and he'd known this girl 48 hours at this point,
Yeah,
if that,
less than. It
maybe
was like 36, to be honest with
36
you.
hours. And she goes on to say all of these things. we can be so fucking great, dude. Like I really thought I found my guy. And this is after 36 hours. Now,
Yeah.
after we talked about that, she started texting you during the show. And you went to go reply back to her. And by the time you went to go reply back to her, she had already blocked you
Yeah.
on your phone. So I said, well, if you want to
Like she did to me, just go back to Bumble and resend the message on Bumble unless she had blocked me there.
Well, that's what I said. Go back because you met her on Bumble. So I said, go back to Bumble if you want to play this game with her and you really do want to talk to her. Because, you know, crazy girls usually good and bad. That's the cliche, usually truth.
It is factual. Put
Yeah,
that
I
shit
know.
to the test of my life.
It's people say it's not. It's cliche. It's not always. It's pretty true.
It's pretty fucking true.
Anyway, so this crazy girl, she blocks you. I say go on Bumble and see if she's blocked you there, and send her a message to say why you blocked me. And then you're kind of hemmed and hawed about it because you weren't really sure if you should do it because she's crazy and she's going to be able to figure out where you live because of the Snapchat location thing that you guys were talking through because it was all talking on Snapchat, not text. I forgot about that. And then that's where we left off. Was you deciding whether or not you were going to go on Bumble and message this girl? What happened?
I went on the messenger again. I really did. I tried for like another 2 or 3 days to get her to come over and hang out. It didn't happen. It was the same thing over and over again. I'd go like 2 hours without texting her, and it was you don't care. You're ruining this. I thought I found my guy. Blah blah blah. It was, yeah.
Wow, that's insane. I wonder
on a bunch of antipsychotics in the middle of medications.
Oh, she came clean about. So she's got some mental issues that she came clean about.
Anxiety, manic depression, all kinds of stuff. She's on 3 or 4 antipsychotics, a couple that I used to take.
Well, I can't judge anybody for that if it works, but
No,
if you take them and they work, you take them and they work. It's a good thing, actually.
Working for her. These ain't working for her.
Obviously not, based on that kind of reaction. Now, I've had moments where, like, when I threw B1 out and went crazy, immediately knew I had made a mistake and I was just text bombed her for hours. So then that was a while ago, and I learned I don't think I would ever do anything like that ever again. I think I grew through that experience, unfortunately. It's a bad way to grow, but I did grow. I don't know. Actually, don't even know what my point was there with that. When you're acting like that and you're manic and crazy, she probably doesn't even realize she's doing it until then. Once she comes down from whatever that mania is, and then you'll get the messages. I'm so sorry. I hope you're okay. Did you get those swings? Were you getting swings back and forth, or just straight up?
It got to the point where I had to block her on Snapchat, text messaging, and unmatch and block her on Bumble
because she just got to be so crazy.
Yeah, dude, she just was calling names and
that's insanity. That's insane.
Yeah.
So did you immediately start swiping on other chicks then?
Yeah, I've been swiping.
Nice. Any takers?
None.
One, did you up your age thing? Because this last one was 26. Did you say to yourself, maybe I aim a little older, and maybe I don't find, because there's plenty of crazy girls that are older too, so I guess it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I've met a few of them too.
Disaster says you need to stock up on steaks and holy water. That's pretty funny. Jay is asking, hey, Dom, what's your number? The phones are actually down right now, Jay, so if you want to get any comments in, you actually have to do it through the chat. Just tag me at Another Dumb Show, and I will try to read your message. Let's see here. I saw one earlier from Drake. He said, Dumb, I met you in 2012 at the Hustler Club downtown. You were super nice, and you let me take a picture with you and with Rob as well. In a strip club? Last time anybody was trying to take pictures in a strip club, it was Philip from Rochester, and we almost got us killed. I think you were there that night, actually, Mikey, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was at the Classy Cat in Rochester.
Oh, man. The R.I.P. Classy Cat.
Yeah.
So
Mikey,
Ferrari dealership now.
The Classy Cat is a Ferrari dealership now?
Yeah.
Wow. The Classy Cat was
Exotic cars.
Famous strip club in, I don't know, famous, it was infamous strip
Infamous.
club.
In Henrietta, the only strip club in Henrietta. Well, nope, not gonna lie. There's another one in Henrietta that's been there just as long, and they're still open.
I feel like we didn't. Was there another strip club that we would go to in Rochester?
Mirage.
The Mirage. I don't remember.
That's where I met. That's where I met you and Jazzy Jim. And Jazzy Jim and I got in trouble for getting down and partying in the Zone van.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before I was even partying with you, I was partying with Jazzy.
I'm trying to think what I don't remember the Mirage at all. I only remember the Classy Cat. I can't even picture the Mirage. I don't even like
down in like a strip mall on Ridge Road, down by the Kodak Theater.
Man, I don't remember that place at all. Is it still open?
I believe so. Maybe not.
The Mirage of Rochester. Ooh, that's a nice picture. Those are some nice asses right there. I'm trying to see if they have a picture of the inside of the club. Well, they just show the locker room. Who gives a fuck about the locker room? Here's a picture of the club.
I don't even think I remember the inside of that club, and I've been there 40 times.
No, I don't remember this place at all. Unless I'm mixing up the Classy Cat and no.
You spent more time at the Cat than you did the Mirage.
For sure.
The Mirage was early. The Mirage was early sponsor deal with the Zone.
All
After that, it was all Classy Cat.
All right, here's a picture of Mirage. Oh, now yes, I do remember it. Okay, now I remember. The Mirage has the stage in the middle of the room. The Classy Cat had it like along the back wall, and then it popped out. So now I remember. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, let's see. What time is it? 7:49. All right, let's do this. All right, so guys, it is time. Did I lose that? No, it's time. It's been a while since we've covered the Fantasy Football League here on Another Dumb Show. The Another Dumb Fantasy Football League is reached just about the halfway point as the NFL comes into the 8th week. We're moving into week 9, I believe, in the NFL. We just wrapped up week 8. And it has been quite a roller coaster ride here in the Another Dumb Fantasy Football League. Let's go back to last week. We'll check the scoreboard here. Now, guys, I did not have time to put together my fancy graphics, so we're going to be doing it right here off of the ESPN website. And let's just dive right into it. Mikey, how are you feeling about your team's performance this past week?
Hey, we squeaked one out. That's all we need to do. Squeak them out week by week.
Mikey's Skull Crusher team got their 4th win with a 103.2 score over Ken's team, the Ocean Gate Titans, who dropped to 3-5 after that loss. George Kittle, Mikey's top performer, tight end for the San Francisco 49ers.
Thank God for National Tight End Day. Thank God.
How cool was that, man? What did they say? 16 tight end touchdowns or something like that day? It was pretty cool.
They've been open all year long.
Probably. I think Baker Mayfield has been one of the only ones actually taking advantage of that. So we'll check back up here and we'll get into my team. Another dumb team. Boy, oh boy, we were projected to lose heartily this past week. And then my team came out and put on a show this week. It was awesome. I had multiple touchdown scores. CeeDee Lamb, 39.6 points. Ramondre Stevenson, 23.5 points. Trey McBride, 21.4 points. Unbelievable performance from my team this past week. Had a chance. Jerry, Jerry in the chat, he is the owner or manager of the Marauders here, and he had a chance to get up into first place with your old boy Dumb, because right now I am 6-2, ladies and gentlemen. Your boy is atop of the league right now. Here are the league standings. Another Dumb team on top with 6 wins and 2 losses.
Right there.
Marauders with 5 wins, 3 losses. Rushing Mafia 5-3. No pun intended, 4-4, along with Set from my iPhone, Hertz Donuts, and Skull Crusher, and Josh all in my ass. Ocean Gate Titans, Bowie, the Buoys, which formerly known as the Wooies, Aegina Carrions, and Cleveland Buds all in at 3-5. Now, I would say the big deal. Whoops, I'm sorry, I went to the wrong one. The big deal in all of this is the run that the Rushing Mafia has been on. I believe they have won 5 games in a row. They started out 0-3 and have won their last 5 games. So pretty impressive performance from him. I don't know if he made trades or if he just got his ass kicked in the first couple weeks by some good teams, or his teams were underperforming. But very impressive run by Rushing Mafia. Now I am Monkey. I'm sitting pretty at 6-2. That's a good. That's a really good record, and in this, especially in this league where we've got a lot of parity. And I've just been really fortunate to where the teams that I've been playing have been underperforming, which makes me nervous for the rest of the season. That I'm potentially just kind of getting by the skin of my teeth right now. And as we progress here and other teams start performing better, I might not be able to hang. So I get a little bit nervous about where I'm sitting right now.
Heavy lies the head that wears the crown, my guy.
Yeah, I guess so. So much so that I made some moves today. I don't know if you saw the moves I made today. I released Dontavian Wicks and picked up Jawan Johnson, I think is his name, the tight end from
New Orleans.
New Orleans, yes. Because I'm going to have my tight ends on bye week in a couple weeks, and I don't want to give up Cade Otton. I want to keep him on my team. So I kept Trey McBride and Cade Otton, and now I I also picked up Roma Dunze, just because I like having another starting wide receiver just sitting there on the bench. So right now I have an unusual lineup with 3 tight ends. I have 2 kickers, and then a couple more wide receivers and a few running backs. So I feel like my other people will run with a couple of defenses. Other teams will run with 1 tight end. So what do you think about those moves I made, Mikey?
I think it's nice you definitely get stacked up on tight ends right now, because there's going to be a run on tight ends coming up. With how much they were targeted last week and how much success they had, that's not going to stop.
Well, it's not a lot of good tight ends left. There really aren't. This was probably a little bit of a shot in the dark, and I'm only doing this so I don't end up with a zilch on the bye week. So I'm just hoping I can eke out.
Yeah, you're planning ahead a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
8 points. So, So what do you think? What do you grade those moves? Getting rid of Wicks, getting Odunze, planning ahead.
You can't trust any wide receiver from Green Bay. Malik Willis is taking over there now that Jordan Love is hurt again.
Yep.
There's not a wide receiver that's consistent enough there to carry on a roster. They're just not.
Oh no!
Juwan Johnson's always questionable.
Oh no, he wasn't this morning. That's as of 4:23 p.m. Limited due to a shoulder injury.
Yeah, second
Oh
week in a row.
no! But yeah, he got like 8 targets last week. Son of a
Oh,
bitch! What?
it said the Saints didn't include the head injury in the injury report, so obviously he's cleared concussion protocol, so that's good.
Oh, okay, good. All right, well that is good. They'll aim for full participation Thursday or Friday. Well, the good news is I don't need him this week. I need him in a couple weeks.
Yeah, you
So,
need him to stay healthy. Sit his ass this week. Put him out.
yeah, exactly. Come on, Dennis Allen. I need my fantasy team to be successful. Mikey, have you made any moves? You got any moves you're leaning towards at this point?
I haven't looked at anything.
No, you've been anti-football for the past 10 days.
Yeah, I really have. I've checked out completely for the last 10 days.
All
Losing
right.
2 games in 5 days really crushed me.
Well, here are the lines for this week. I am facing the Aegean Icarians, who are, I believe they're down towards the bottom in the standings. Hertz Donuts right in the middle are looking to be, they're underdogs. Or no, I'm sorry, they're not the underdogs. They're picked to win over Josh Allen, my ass. I'm so bad with these pluses and minuses with gambling. It's so hard to keep up with it to me. I don't know what it is, but these are it's funny how they actually break down the odds in these if we wanted to actually gamble on the money somehow, Mikey. I don't know. Is that the pick 'em? Didn't you say something about you can come up with your own betting leagues or something based on the odds for your fantasy football?
I
Didn't you
don't
say
believe
something?
so.
Oh, I thought you said something along those lines where you could do some sort of.
No,
I
we
thought-
just have a pick'em league attached to the other league that I do.
Oh, okay, all right. I guess I was confused about how that works. So, all right, so we are officially heading into week 9, and your boy is on top and looking to stay on top of the league as we move down the line throughout the rest of the season. Pretty proud of myself. This is with my second or third pick overall, not in the lineup. Nico Collins still on the injured reserve, but looking to come back here in a couple days. Mikey, in your time, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. I got to get a beer and I got to take a leak. So let's take a quick break. When we come back from break, I have some stuff that is going to make you laugh. It made me laugh. There's plenty of laughs coming up here at throughout the rest of the show. So stick around. What's that?
I said bet. Sorry, I was looking at my fantasy roster. I didn't realize I didn't have a tight end. I had to pick up one real quick.
Oh, okay. Good move. Good. What, are you going into a bye week for one? Who'd you get?
Yeah,
Hunter?
Kittle's on a bye week. I picked up Gesicki.
Ooh, that's not a bad pick. Oh, see, I don't think he was even there when I was looking.
They're playing the Raiders this week, and the Raiders are absolutely trash. So let's hope he gets some nice targets.
There you go. All right. Good move. See, damn it, I shouldn't have said anything.
I would have seen it at some point.
No, I know.
I knew I had to get on there and look.
It's funny. I saw Pat Wooey, the manager of the Wooeys. He was making moves at 3:00 in the morning for the waiver wire.
Always. Yep.
he's trying to win this fucking thing. He's changed his name of his team from the Wooeys to the Buoys because he's having a rough year right now. I think he's lost a bunch in a row too.
Halloween themed.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. That could be. That would make more sense. That would make more sense. Okay. Well, I'm a dipshit. All right. We'll be Mikey. We'll talk to you in a sec. Go do your thing during the break. We are going to take a quick break. Second hour is always happy hour here at Another Dumb Show. So take your kids, give them all the Halloween candy you're getting ready to hand out tomorrow. Let them just start going through it and putting razor blades or gummies, whatever you're going to do. Just whatever you want to hand out to the kids, just start preparing it now. Have your kids do it. Just close the door. That way you can get a little drinky drink, a little mokey moke. And don't forget, hit the thumbs up on tonight's issue if you've not already done that. I would appreciate it if you did that. And we will be right back on Another Dumb Show. Sit tight. Hang on.
Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay, all right. Okay, we're getting there. Now, again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. It's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them.
That was, oh, sorry, that ended faster than I was ready for. So that is our favorite podcast host, Tony Hinchcliffe from the podcast Kill Tony, speaking at a Donald Trump rally. I believe this was at Madison Square Garden in New York on Sunday, where he told some typical Tony
Colorful
Hinchcliffe
jokes.
tip.
Yeah.
Well, there was definitely color involved. But I gotta say, Mikey, when you watch jokes like that, and I was thinking about you in this earlier today because, well, I'll get to why I was thinking about it, but when you hear jokes like that, are you laughing because you know it's going to upset other people and he's saying stuff he shouldn't say, or are you laughing because it's funny?
I'm laughing because the jokes are actually funny.
They're funny to you. So is there any of that though to it? Like the first thing I was saying, is there any of that to it where you're like, you get off a little bit on the fact that you know it's going to rile up the woke people?
I'm sure there's part of me that gets a little bit of a hard on knowing that that's going to be a headline that somebody's going to not be happy with that. But that doesn't. That I guess that just adds to the art form for me. That adds edge to me.
Right. Now this obviously has gone viral all over the place. It has gotten tons and tons of pushback. In fact,
God, nonstop. It's just horrible.
Well, in fact, our current president, he actually came out and he spoke on it. Here is Joe Biden reacting to the Puerto Rico joke about Puerto Rico being a floating island of garbage. Here is Joe Biden.
The Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. His demonization of seen as unconscionable, and it's un-American. It's totally contrary to everything we've done,
So there you go. You heard him say that everybody who is a Donald Trump. Well, I don't know if he said it in that context. What exactly did he say again? Let me see how he said it because I don't want to misquote him. Why is there no audio? Well, probably because I hit the wrong button.
The Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Okay, so the only garbage I see out there is his supporters. So Joe Biden just called half of America garbage.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, you senile, derelict piece of shit.
Now, I got to say, on both ends, these two parties, it's so clear that they don't give a fuck anymore. They realize that they can do and say essentially whatever they want because we're in this two-party system where they can do whatever they want. What's that?
Supporting a Nazi. I'm supporting a Nazi.
What do you? Oh, because you're. That's the way. Oh, that's
I'm a
because.
Trump guy. Yeah,
that's the way they're trying to make you.
That's what I'm painted as. Yeah, he's Hitler. He's the next Hitler. He wants to be a dictator.
That's what they do say.
You're going to vote for.
That's what they do say. Now, going back to the kind of comedy part of that whole thing, Tony Hinchcliffe actually he responded to it on Twitter. Governor Waltz and AOC. Did you see the clip of those two talking about this?
I did not.
They did like a reaction video to the Tony Hinchcliffe thing. I didn't bother pulling it because it's
canned and
so
horrible.
long. It's not canned. It's just bad. I should have pulled it just to show what a doofus this Tim Waltz guy is. But anyway,
Tampon Tim.
Yeah, well, speaking of Tampon Tim, Tony posted a tweet in response to this watch party thing. He says, those people have no sense of humor. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico, and I vacation there. I made fun of everyone. Watch the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon.
I'm so ashamed right now.
Why?
I can't even see his face. All I can see is that fucking Vikings logo on that puke's head fucking bouncing around.
Oh, yeah, he's from Minnesota. That's right. I didn't even think about that. So he's obviously a Vikings fan.
Him as a fucking fan.
Anyway, well, the video of those two was unwatchable, and I'm not going to force anybody to watch that because it's just a bunch of people. What else? What do you think they're saying? They don't have they're so woke and so far left that there's no chance that they have even if they thought it was funny, there's no way they could even intimate that they think it's funny. They
can't be associated with comedy these days. They can't be associated with that art form. They cannot be anywhere near it unless it's maybe a Michelle Wolf or a Amy Schumer or somebody that's super woke and just absolutely horrible at comedy.
Here is somebody who just got themselves, they didn't get canceled. Their buddy got canceled after Trump got shot. Jack Black from Tenacious D, the actor, sort of comic, said, one of the worst feelings after a bad show is when someone tries to make you feel better by saying, well, I thought you were funny. Tony Hinchcliffe is getting that right now, but only from literally the worst people on the planet. Wow. So Jack Black, shots fired at the entire comedy community right now. Because that's pretty much, those dudes are at the top of the comedy heap right now. Tony, Joe, that whole crew of dudes, they are the top of the comedy heap. You got a couple other ones you got your Joe Coy and your, I don't know, who's Matt Rife, I guess, isn't really part of that group.
Joe Coy was a regular with Rogan back at the Comedy Store in the early 90s. So
from
the same tree.
So there you go, same idea. So so it's interesting to see the kind of the backlash some of the comics have put in there. This Anthony Jeselnik guy, I can't play.
Jeselnik,
Jeselnik, or however the fuck you say his name.
One of the raunchiest, filthiest, darkest humor comedians on the planet.
He came out and said, as a comedian, you want to make people laugh. You don't want to make them angry, is what he came out and said.
Listen to 5 minutes of his work. You'll be appalled.
And then he goes on to say, art is getting away with it. He's being all fucking quoting Andy Warhol and all this shit. But, okay, so that obviously is understandably... I think anybody looking at from the outside in, whether you're a fan of Tony or not, or you have a sense of humor or not, you could understand why that could be potentially deemed offensive to people. I think if you're Puerto Rican, there's really no joke there. If you're a Puerto Rican person, you know what I mean. There's no joke. You're not being made fun of in a way that's kind of clever in that one, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? He's not roasting them. He's just straight up saying, you guys are garbage. I didn't get that joke. I didn't think really, that didn't really, I went, oof, when I heard that one, because it didn't I didn't think it was funny. To be honest with you, I just didn't understand it. Like it was when I say I didn't think it was funny, it's because I didn't understand why he was just like is Puerto Rico known for garbage? Like, are they?
I thought it was also a play on the environment and the literal floating island of garbage that's coming from China. So there was a duality there where it was the floating island of garbage and it's just Puerto Rico.
Oh, I didn't think about the actual floating island of garbage that is in the ocean. I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. Oh, that came up. Okay, well, we'll talk about that. So interesting to see how different comics. I mean, Jack Black came out, and I mean, Mikey, I wanted to find this funny, but I felt like it was just.
It's not a scene for comedy.
It wasn't.
It's not a scene for comedy at all. It's not a place to even bring a comic or even think it's a hell of a good idea at all.
I agree. It was a bad move.
It's done in
politically.
Taste. It's horribly poor taste.
And it was
bring out a comedian that maybe like you just did a set on Theo Von. Theo Von wouldn't be right for any type of fucking. There isn't a comedian that fits into a political landscape like that. Let Trump do it.
Well, going back to the garbage comment, Joe Biden, he made that comment, and then there's been some great reaction to it. Real quick so Kamala reacted, so here's Kamala's reaction to it.
President Biden took his comment last night about garbage.
Listen, I think that, first of all, he clarified his comments, but let me be clear, I strongly disagree with any criticism of people based on who they vote for. You heard my speech last night and continue.
So there you go. She said she said that she doesn't like judging people based on who they vote for. So really actually a shot at Joe Biden, to be honest with you. So that's interesting.
That wasn't a helpful comment.
That was an interesting way that she played that out, I thought, right there. So she being legit. But Mikey, real quick. Oh, hold on. I want to play. This is one of the things that I was a little bit frustrated about. I think you're going to be frustrated about when you hear this. Where is this clip? I have to stop labeling stuff Trump or Donald Trump because I lose it all the time when I do this. Oh, here it is. So Trump actually commented on the whole Tony Hinchcliffe incident on, I believe it was on Fox News. Here he is talking about the incident.
Somebody said there was a comedian that joked about Puerto Rico or something, and I have no idea who it was. Never saw him, never heard of him, and don't want to hear of him. But I have no idea. They put a comedian in, which everybody does. You throw comedians in. You don't vet them and go crazy. It's nobody's fault. But somebody said some bad things. Now, what they've done is taken somebody that has nothing to do with the party, has nothing to do with us, said something, and they try and make a big deal. But I don't know who it is. I don't even know who put him in.
So there you go. He claims he has no
He's
idea.
So full of shit.
I know.
There's Joe Rogan's recommendation.
I know.
I got somebody perfect for your rally, sir.
He's such a liar. It's unbelievable what a liar he is. It blows my mind. He is a God. He can't help himself.
He's had to have met Tony.
Or heard of him through. There's just no way he hasn't heard of him. There's just no way. Now, Mikey, Trump. He pulled the greatest move today. What a troll this fucking guy is. This is one of the only reasons I like Trump or I don't know who made this move for him, but Mikey, this is so good. Donald Trump came out today and said, you know what? You want to call me and all my fucking people garbage? I got something for your fucking ass, motherfuckers. How do you like me now?
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
Is that answering some questions from reporters?
Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
President Trump, you said the other day that the military could be used, but the military or National Guard can be used on election day if necessary. Can you explain what you meant by that in detail?
I don't think they'll have to be used. I think we're going to have a big victory. And I think 250 million people in this country are going to be very happy because we're going to bring the country back. We're a nation in decline, very, very serious decline. And we're going to bring our country back.
Did you know that Elon Musk was in close contact with President Bush? Did you know about this? Did you know about Elon Musk at all?
I don't know. I can't understand anything else they're saying there, but I thought the best part.
The garbage truck is great.
What a troll. What an absolute awesome fucking troll move by him. So some bad politics going around on both sides. So putting Tony Hinchcliffe in, huge mistake, I think, by the Trump campaign. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Big mistake. I mean, you're going to alienate so many people with what he just did. I mean, he just Kill Tony's an acquired taste. Really is. I mean, Tony Hinchcliffe himself is an acquired taste. I fucking couldn't stand him at first. But once I got to know him a little bit and realized, he seems like an all right dude. He's just abrasive. You know what I mean? But there are people out there who are not going to be able to acquire that taste.
There is. That's a really big stage, more than the 2-3 million that watch every week for his episodes.
I know. It's the whole country. I mean, we're talking millions and millions and millions and millions, tens of millions of people seeing this. So he is apparently persona non grata with the Trump team at this point, which is strange because, like you said, Joe Rogan and Donald Trump was just on Joe Rogan's show last Friday, and I finally had time to sit down and watch this. Where to start? This was 3 hours of non-substantive material. It was absolute stream of consciousness nonsense. I was so turned off. I thought Joe did a terrible job. I thought he did horrible. Probably one of his worst interviews yet. I've never seen him, like he would try to get him back on track here and there because Trump would just, goddamn, he would go.
Let guys go. If you watch the interview, if you watch the interview with Ye too, you'd think the same thing, that Rogan did a horrible job. But Rogan lets those guys weave.
But I think, unfortunately, we needed to get something out of that interview, and we got nothing new. We got an hour of election interference conversation, which was just absolutely exhausting because Joe kept asking him over and over. That's the only thing he held his feet to the fire to. Or, well, what are the examples? What are the examples of election interference? And Trump would just go blah 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 blah, go round and round in circles, and never present any sort of evidence. And that was kind of the whole. The only thing I took away from that interview was Donald Trump loves building stuff. That's what he loves to do.
Man.
He's
a businessman.
Not only that, but it's the actual building stuff. He likes the accomplishment of creating a structure. He likes that.
Yeah,
that's what I took from, but that's not what I should have taken from that interview. I should have learned more. We didn't get into policy. We didn't really get into any reasons why her plans won't work and his will.
Joe didn't want to talk politics and policy.
Well, that was stupid.
He said he wanted to have a conversation, just a sit down conversation.
That was
where he asked the questions that he wanted to ask.
I feel like that
nothing about policy. That's who wants to hear the bullshit policy over and over again? We all know what his policy is going to be.
No, I want to grill him on it. How? You're going to do X, Y, Z? How? How is this going to happen? What are you going to do to make it happen? What are you going to do about the border?
Obviously, all going to happen through tariffs. It's all going to happen through tariffs.
You can't fix the border with tariffs. You know what I mean? There's no. What they didn't get into what he's going to do there. All that stuff. And again, it's a two-way street. Kamala's not even going to do it because she refused to come to Austin and would only do it for an hour. So that right there tells you something. At least this guy had the sack to sit down on the biggest podcast in the world and make a buffoon of himself.
Two of the biggest. He was also on Flagrant and did a really good job on Flagrant.
Yeah, I just found him to be. He couldn't form complete thoughts. He just couldn't. He just has such a stream of consciousness about inane details within stories that you never get to the actual point of any of his stories. There's just no point to anything he talks about at all.
He's become a true politician.
No, his is, let me present a couple facts that may or may not be true because nobody's going to bother fact checking me on something like him trying to be a historian was so off-putting to me because it was, you say a year and a name and you put it in the context of sort of what you're talking about, and it's like faking being smart. You know what I mean? Like he just throws out a date and a president's name, and then there's no, well, he did this to make this happen, and da 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 da. He just said McKinley did tariffs. He loved tariffs. He did the tariffs, and they killed him for it. But that's not why they killed him. So it's just I actually, one of the things that bothered me the most was he wasn't even funny. He wasn't funny like he usually is. So it makes me think that the people that write these speeches for him are actually, they're the funny ones, not Trump. Because I felt like
he goes off the cuff all the time.
I don't know, dude.
I didn't set him up for nothing funny. I just enjoyed listening to him sit down and talk. I enjoyed it. But I'm a Trump guy either way. So there's nothing he can say or do that's going to lose my vote.
Well, he didn't do anything to earn mine, for sure. I just felt like the whole thing was a wasted opportunity, especially with the magnitude of Joe's show and the gravity of this election. I feel like it shouldn't have been, like, a little bit of conversation here about UFC and this and that, but like him, like when they're talking about the environmental stuff, again, it's just a bunch of weird like anecdotes that really don't add up to anything. You know what I mean? He just tells a little tiny anecdote that he thinks is going to relate to everybody and relate to the it just doesn't make any sense a lot of times. Or it's just, let me pretend to have a little bit of information about something and then start skewing it, like you were saying, weave it, and then I weave it into something totally on the other side of the room, so I don't have to actually talk about the shit that you asked me about, because honestly, I don't really know what I'm talking about. At least that's the way he made it seem for me. I felt like he was not dodging questions, but he's an artful dodger. So
good at what he does.
I guess. I just feel like it was a wasted opportunity for Trump, wasted opportunity for Joe. I didn't find it particularly entertaining.
Well,
I really didn't.
And it proved to be extremely financially profitable for Joe.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody,
you got to be close to 70 million views right now. I mean, I know they're close to 30 on YouTube alone.
I have no idea. I understand. I watched it. A lot of people want to watch it. Young men watch his show. It's one of the #1 podcasts in the world, and I enjoy it at times. I just felt like this interview was boring. I was bored. If you took the name out of that interview and who he is, it's boring. It was a boring interview. Like when Joe was trying to dig in a little bit about like what is it like when you walk in the White House for the first time, and he just starts going, the Lincoln bed.
I know.
The bed was elongated because he's so tall. He's so tall.
We never got the answer. What it was like, just the overwhelming feeling like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, that's what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear him Trump be like, yo, I'm the president. What the fuck now?
Yeah, I walked in and then he goes, I have 10,000 people to appoint. 10,000. And then he goes, well, actually like 10. And then they appoint all the rest. It's just like an embellishment, and then a backtrack from the embellishment, then a bigger embellishment, And he's just,
Oh, he kept saying appoint 10,000 people.
he should have been on a morning radio show. He'd have been great. Anyway, next up, JD Vance. Maybe that's where we'll get the policies. Maybe Joe will dive a little bit more into that with him because JD Vance.
Why, Joe's going to have JD on?
Yeah, that's what I see. He's next up to be on. That's what at least the headline I'm reading here in the news story, unless that was just a...
No shit.
Let me just see. Maybe I
like,
make sure it's confirmed.
I like JD Vance on Theo.
Yeah, no, he is officially going to be on. He's going to sit with Joe tomorrow. Or wait, no. Was it today then? He sat today.
So it'll be out tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be out later this week. And they taped it at the studio in Austin. And yeah, Harris did not turn down an interview. Kamala said that they offered to tape, and he did not want to travel to her as he believes the best way to interview her is in his Austin studio, which I agree. Why is she special? Why is she special? Well, she is the vice president. She is the vice president. So, I don't know, security reasons. I can maybe
the sitting
give
vice
her that
president
one.
or the ex-president who's had 2 attempts at his life in the past 3 months, get the fuck out of here.
That's a good point.
She can get up off her ass and fly out to fucking Austin.
Okay, fair enough. I'll give you that one. That's a good one.
She can't hold a conversation for 3 fucking hours. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, that's why she only wanted to do it for 1 hour.
Yeah, because you can handle a scripted hour.
Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, this video kind of shows you where we are in this whole thing. The division in this country has gotten out of control to where people are doing this, Mikey. Can you imagine if this happened to you?
I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful.
Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people?
No, I haven't walked by recently.
Okay, because a lot of people walk by and scream.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that?
Who's cutting off this video?
Why are you voting for him?
Because I believe he is the moral candidate.
Oh, my God. F you for that one.
That's
moral?
exactly right. That's how your side acts.
Oh, my God.
That's
He's
how
the
you
most
guys...
immoral person around.
In your opinion, that's
Oh,
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. God bless you.
People are out of fucking control right now.
I got my Trump sign up front of my fucking apartment.
Say that one more time.
Said I got my Trump sign hanging up in front of my apartment.
You got it up now?
Uh-huh.
Nice. What would you do if some lady, I mean, obviously you're not going to beat her up or whatever, but what would you do? Would you pull your phone out and start recording her? And or what?
I'd close the door. I'm not arguing.
You wouldn't even just be like, bitch, get the fuck out of here and slam. I mean,
bloop. I wouldn't even say a word. I'd open the door and close it.
Can you believe the gall of that fucking woman? Can you imagine having, being so crazy about an election that you would go knock on someone's door to ask them why they voted for that person? That's absolutely fucking nuts.
It's a crazy world we live in, bro.
It's insane behavior.
My sign's going to turn away trick-or-treaters tomorrow night.
You think so?
Yeah.
With your lights on, you're going to have candy out. You think, no, people won't come up to Trump houses?
No.
That's not true. There's plenty of Trump people out the trick or treat.
A bunch of Trump people will come up to my house and stuff like that, but me and my buddy laugh at it every year. My buddy watches on camera the families that keep their kids away from his driveway because he's got Trump flags and a cardboard cutout of Trump in his front yard.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We are living in a world full of stupid people. Low IQ, like Kamala. Oh, real quick. I do have one last thing to show you, and then I'm done. All right, I have one. I lied. I have 2 election things left. It's already rigged, Mikey. I don't know if you saw this video that came out.
I'm not surprised.
I don't remember what city this is in. WNEP. It's an ABC affiliate. They aired this during an F1 race the other day. So I don't know if you saw that at the bottom, Harris and Trump, with Harris already picked to win, and the voting numbers and the reporting 100%. So I'm assuming they were probably just doing some sort of test, and they're stupid and actually sent it to air by accident. Because I can't imagine they'd be dumb enough if this whole thing was rigged to let this pop out now. It would be pretty fucking stupid. The massive undertaking it would be to rig an election. I don't think a local news affiliate would be a part of it. Do you agree with me on that one?
I have no idea, bro.
No, he's buying it. He said it's wild.
It's wild, bro.
Oh, dude. All right. Now, speaking of wild, I got one last thing with the election. What did you think of this, Mikey? I got to get your reaction to this.
You lied through your teeth. For that, your feelings is
Blah, 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 blah.
What up, though? So look, I wrote down a few things I wanted to say. I love you too. Thank you. I'm here tonight for a couple of important reasons. As most of you know, the city of Detroit and the whole state of Michigan mean a lot to me. And going into this election, the spotlight is on us more than ever, and I think it's important to use your voice. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote, please. I also think that people shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions. And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known. I think Vice President Harris supports a future for this country where these freedoms and many others will be protected and upheld.
This guy's kidding, right? Is what
he's
I got
a political puppet. I've never had respect for him for his political views. I can separate the political views, the person that he is, everything from that.
He's a hypocrite.
Completely separate from the art.
He's a complete hypocrite. You can't walk around rapping about how bad the wokeism is and then go support it publicly.
Yep.
He's a complete hypocrite. I'm blown away. I actually had no idea what his political views were before this.
Bought and paid for by that party. Been like that for years. The cipher that he released on Trump a bunch of years ago, he's been going in on Trump for a long time.
But he is voting for the people who want him to stop doing the things he's doing and saying
that probably
the things he's
complain
saying.
Most about his album.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't understand it. Boy, you must be a fan to be able to separate that, because that kind of shit to me is like, I just can't deal with it. I don't want to put up with it.
I separate it completely.
All right. Well, you're a better man than I am. So enough politics, Mikey. I have some great news.
What's this?
Great news. Mikey, sluts are back.
Sweet.
And you know how much you guys know how much I love sluts. And this is, I'm a connoisseur of beautiful women, in particular sluts. This is the new thing that's going on right now, Mikey. The butt cleavage. This is the new fashion trend that's going on right now around the entertainment industry in the fashion world.
Socially acceptable, in my opinion. Absolutely. More butt cleavage.
I think it's a fantastic thing. Katy Perry recently did it. Some other girl, I don't even know who this girl is. She's kind of a, I don't know who this girl is. But anyway, the girl in the inset there, I don't know who that is. But yeah, Katy Perry did it. She's kind of, I don't know. She's cheating using the thong. I guess they're both kind of cheating, because the true actual like butt cleavage people, they do a straight up butt cleavage. Like, here's this British actress at a UK premiere. This is the new look. This is the new thing. I love this. I'm all for this.
I'm all right with it too. I got
no complaints about it. I like that they probably tape it there too, so you don't have to worry about it like getting too low and you're seeing, a starfish
butt
there
cheek.
or whatever. Yeah. Well, no, like if they bend over, you want it to stick to their butt so you don't get a full Texas red eye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you definitely don't want the full split.
Yeah, I mean, unless that's what you're
I
into
mean,
or
9
whatever.
times, 10 out of 10, it's going to be bleached.
Well, it wouldn't work on her because it would, if hers is bleached, it wouldn't match. But anyway, so yeah, baby, sluts are back. They're showing their butt cleavage. I'm very excited about it, obviously. And I do have another slut that I want to talk about, Mikey. And I'm a big fan of this slut. She's one of the hottest new sluts on the market. We've talked about her before, but you weren't sure who she was. So I've taken it upon myself to introduce you to her, reintroduce you to her, and get you hip to one Sabrina Carpenter. Because, in particular, Mikey, she does this thing at her concerts. And I just got to mute it because I can't play her song. She's got this song called Juno. And a specific part in this Juno song, she does a different, for each different live, she's on a tour right now. And when she performs this Juno song live, she busts out a different sex move at the end of the stage for during this one part of the song. It's a different position every show. So here's just a little taste of Sabrina Carpenter. Here she is getting down on her knees. Notice what she's holding here, way she's holding it there. So that was one, kind of a tame one, not the best one. This one's pretty good, Mikey. I think you're going to like this one. So she's going to come down. She's going to get on her ass. Nice. Ass down, leg up. That's a good one, right?
Fan of that position.
I mean, I need to figure out when this girl is coming to Cleveland, how much these tickets are, because it's like a free sex show for you. And, well, in the end, you're not going to get a lap dance, but at least you get to, there you go. Legs up. I don't know what you even call that position. Wheelbarrow? Is that wheelbarrow right there where they got the legs up like that?
I have no idea what the hell their names are.
You know,
I just not like them.
You're not a sex position connoisseur?
No, just whatever the way angle it goes in, it feels best.
Yeah, it all depends on, for me, it's a tired thing. You know what I mean? If I'm tired, I want to be on the bottom. You know what I mean? Even though I'm going to have to put in a little bit of work on the bottom, not as much work. You're on top or behind or whatever. That shit can wear you out.
I gotta hit 2 or 3 per sesh.
If I'm in the mood for it, sometimes it all depends. Like when B1 and I are going at it, like every once in a while we'll switch up because sometimes we just get so into where we're at in one position, we just kind of ride it out. You know what I'm saying? Because we're both aiming to O at the same time eventually. So usually just kind of find that spot, like you said, that angle that's hitting right, because she's so small that hitting her from that back sometimes it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's like the greatest experience for her. Other times it's just ow, 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 and then like all right. So enough of this. Anyway, so that's what's going on with Sabrina Carpenter. Sluts are back, dude. So there is some good news. We're 5 days away from this horrible election, and God knows what's going to happen to the world. But knowing that there are sluts out there getting in sex positions on stage
gives you hope.
Yeah, it gives me hope. Thank you. You put the words right.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Irish Ronnie, going back to the butt cleavage, says, "Isn't that just called plumber's crack? Plumber's crack?"
But I got butt cleavage every day at work.
I know, I hate that, man. That's the worst when I'm setting up at a DJ thing and I usually got this hoodie on. If it pulls up too high, I'm all embarrassed. I'm like constantly pulling that thing down because it's the last thing I want to do is have a bunch.
It's the only thing I think about as a technician. It is absolutely not feasible to happen. I've got shirts tucked in. I hate it.
I hate it. I don't want to show my ass crack off. But when a girl wants to show her ass crack off, show that shit. Let that freak flag fly, ladies. All right, Mikey. Are you? I don't know if I showed you this already, but I wanted you to see this and see if you were going to. We kind of glossed over this. Are you going to check this out? This is from Ice-T. Movie review: Terrifier 3. Do not see this if you haven't made it through 1 and 2. Do not see this if you are not into extreme violence and gore. The shower scene made us yell out loud. I loved it, but it's definitely not for the weak. Have you made the move to Terrifier?
Not interested. Not
No.
into BDSM shit like that. Not into sadomasochism, sadomasochistic relationships.
What do you think is the best horror movie out right now? That are you getting into like the Halloween spirit? You checking out any of these movies that are
I'm
out?
old school horror, dude. I watched Michael Carpenter's Halloween. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 2. Child's Play.
So you're getting into it. You are really going into the whole thing and getting in.
Yeah,
do you ever watch?
there's some horrors I gotta watch every year.
Do you ever watch some of the old ones, like do you like classic black and white, like Nosferatu or Bride of Frankenstein, any of that kind of stuff?
No.
Dead of Night or
nothing.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, none of that kind of stuff?
No.
So
I
what
stick
do you,
mostly to 70s and 80s horror.
okay, so what would you say is the best of all time then? As far as
Halloween, the original with Jamie Lee Curtis.
You think so? Really?
Hands down.
That's the best?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the boogeyman, hands down. That's the introduction to the boogeyman.
Just because he scares you so much and you're... What do you mean boogeyman?
He was the boogeyman, bro. He shot him 5 times at the end of the movie. He was the boogeyman.
Oh, and he kept coming back or whatever?
He disappeared. And then he showed up at the hospital 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it's a little weird. There's no...
ambulance.
So that's the thing I never really had that I kind of had a problem with Halloween was that I never really understood, is this a real dude or is this a demon character or something like that? Like
boogeyman.
But I don't like that. Like, I'd rather, is he, then like in some of the later ones that he's in a mental asylum and all this, is he a regular guy or is he the boogeyman who can just get out of anything whenever he wants? He wants to be in a mental
anything whenever he wants. He waits.
But he wants to be in the mental institution for years from his childhood
He
on.
waits.
Like, oh, it's weird.
For the next time. It's like saying, is Freddy real or fake?
Fake. Obviously fake. He's a fake. He's fake. Obviously he's fake.
Yeah, but he causes real harm in the real world.
Yeah. But Freddy Krueger is obviously not a hybrid, but clearly a fictional character. Michael Myers loses.
Why? But Freddy
hold on.
used to be the man that tortured children, and then he was murdered for it, and now he's come back as Freddy.
Okay, we got
just like Michael Myers
origin story right there. Michael Myers' origin story is
he was a murderer from a kid.
He what?
He was a murderer from a kid. The opening scene of the first movie is him when he's 7 years old.
Okay, so my point is,
he's just a psychopath.
He was
born the devil.
But then when he starts coming back doing weird shit after you've shot him 7 or 8 times, that's when that movie loses credibility to me. Because when it's just a crazy guy, then it's scary. If it's a boogeyman, then it's not real to me. It was real when it's just a guy hiding in a closet with a giant knife and a mask on. You know what I mean? Scaring people. That's real to me. If he ends up coming back from the dead, then it's not. Then it's stupid. Then it's stupid.
Well, that takes away Jason. That takes away Friday the 13th, Hellraiser, all of that. Those are all.
This is why I love Leatherface.
Do you like Leatherface? It can never get it. To be honest with you, the scariest movie of all time, not my favorite horror movie, the scariest movie of all time is either Darkness Falls or Jeepers Creepers.
Jeepers Creepers is pretty good. That's the one with that weird bat fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That's a weird movie.
The tow truck.
Yeah.
And Darkness Falls is by far still the scariest movie I've ever seen.
I don't know that movie. What is that movie?
It's the Tooth Fairy.
I'm sorry, what?
It's the Tooth Fairy.
The Tooth Fairy?
Yeah, bet.
Oh boy. All right. I've never seen Darkness Falls, so I probably never
dope
will.
horror movie. You
See,
should watch it.
I don't like cheesy horror movies that much.
Not a cheesy horror movie. It made me jump quite a bit.
Yeah, but if it's about the Tooth Fairy, it's cheesy.
It's Darkness Falls. I don't even
cheesy,
remember what it's about. I just remember Tooth Fairy.
So are you sure you're talking about the right movie?
I'm sure.
I'm trying to read. I'm reading about it right now. It's in the 1800s.
Ooh, maybe not.
I think you're talking about a wrong movie, dude. This doesn't have anything. I don't think this has anything to do with the Tooth Fairy. Oh, no, here it is. You're right. No, okay, it is. Over the next 150 years, the story of Matilda became the legend of the Tooth Fairy. Her spirit visits children on the night they lose their last baby tooth. If anyone lays eyes upon her, they will face her curse and be killed. Ooh.
No, it was a good movie.
Now, see, that sounds... I almost R-worded that. That sounds R-worded to me.
If you read Jeepers Creepers synopsis, you'd think the same thing.
Maybe, probably.
The devil from a cornfield.
I kind of think Jeepers Creepers is cheesy, to be honest with you.
I loved that movie
cheesy.
too. What's your favorite horror movie?
I believe The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah,
The Rob Zombie movie. That hotel room scene is just one of the most intense fucking scenes ever. That fucking makes me so uncomfortable. It's so scary. Like, that's fear to me. That's
Strangers was really good too.
What's Strangers?
Those people that go camping in the woods and the people with the potato sacks just show up and start knocking on the door and shit and haunting them. Then it's just real people that are just out to kill a family.
Oh yeah, the Strangers. I know that one. That's a good one.
With Liv Tyler or whatever. Yeah,
yes.
I believe Liv Tyler was in the original.
And it's described as a 2008 American psychological horror film. The psychological horrors are what get me. It just the stupid slashers and all that shit. I was scared of those when I was little. I mean, I was so scared of Freddy and Jason, I would lay in bed at night and be like, all right, Freddy, all right, Jason, if you guys are here, I will help you murder everybody as long as you don't murder me. Because I was a
slept
crazy
in my parents' bed after watching Nightmare on Elm Street, bro.
I was never, ever allowed to sleep in my parents' bed. Ever. Never slept in my bed with my parents.
That's probably why I'm fucked up.
Yeah, it's probably why I'm fucked up. Maybe a little bit too much for either one. So. All right, so we're getting close to wrapping things up here. I do have a video to send you guys off on your Halloween way. Speaking of Michael Myers, imagine if you're in a traffic jam and this happened, Mikey. Would you roll down the window?
No. Lucky they didn't get shot these days, bro.
Are you seriously? What a fucking lunatic. I can't believe this guy was doing this. They said he was going around and he was actually very nice and very cordial, but he's walking around wearing
I couldn't imagine being stuck in traffic like that.
I would pretty much, thanks TMZ, I would pretty much say, like if that person even gave me the idea that they were going to try to pull open my door or anything like that, that's me just stomping on the gas, pushing my way through all those cars.
Everyone's out of their car, you're running people over.
I'm just fucking thud, and then the cops be
Sir,
like, what happened?
Why did you run those people over? Michael Myers was at my door, bro. It's the boogeyman.
My buddy says he's the fucking boogeyman. I'm not fucking around with that shit. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, dude, I hope you have are you doing anything for Halloween? You're just going to be at home chilling?
I got to be handing out candy. Last year, I thought the kids were going to murder me, so I got a fucking 20-pound bag of candy I'll be handing out.
What kind of candy?
Giant mix, dude. It's sitting there just staring at me. I want to open it tonight, but I won't do it.
Yeah, right. You're going to open it.
I'm not going to do it. I bought my own candy today.
What is it? Is it like Twix and Kit Kats and shit?
Twix and peanut butter M&Ms, and there's a
All
bunch
good-
of stuff in there.
Good shit. Okay,
All
cool.
good stuff. It's all good shit.
No candy corn, no shit
No,
like
I
that.
didn't cheap out. No boxes of raisins and shit like that.
Yeah, fuck
I
that.
I got a box of raisins for any kid that shows up at my house with a liberal parent.
Oh, so they could just grab the. Oh, you really actually bought raisin boxes?
No.
Oh, I thought you were being serious.
No, I asked the parents, who are you voting for? Depends
You
on what
get
kind of candy your kid got.
Kamala, you get raisins and carrots.
Raisins. Yeah. Get some carrot sticks.
All right. Well, yeah, I think I'm just going to be chilling here. So, I don't know. I think I'm aiming on being live. It's kind of a little hiccup on my end. We'll see. But we'll see if we're going to be live tomorrow. So no promises, but we're aiming to be live tomorrow at 7. Long story. Anyway. All right, Mikey, that's going to wrap things up for us tonight, dude. Thanks for a fun show tonight. I had a good time.
Oh, me too, buddy. Love you, man.
I love you too, man. Feel better. Get some rest.
Thanks, bud. See ya.
All right, homie. Alrighty, guys, that is going to wrap things up for us tonight. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I hope you guys had fun. I had a fun night tonight. And I am looking forward to the next time we are live. Like I said, I'm not sure if that is going to be tomorrow or not. And when I can explain why, I will explain why. But until then, make sure you have your... Brian Morrow says Misery is the scariest movie for me. Good call, Brian. Misery is a really good... Another psychological horror right there. That's a mind fuck, that movie. Anyway, so keep your notifications on. That way you'll know if we go live or not tomorrow. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on tonight's video if you've not already done that. If you're not watching live, get your comments in and I will read those back on the next episode. In the meantime, guys, I just want to remind everybody to make sure you support the show. This thing is not free on my end by any means, and I really want to make sure we can keep it up and running, and I need your guys' help to do that. So make sure you get your super chats in. I saw Irish Ronnie was trying but having some issues with it. But either way, guys, get your super fan donations in there, get your super chats, and then make sure you get your memberships renewed to help keep the show up and running as long as we can. So until then, guys, we'll be back live as soon as we can. Until then, I am out of here. See ya.